Magic fans, second cousins, good to be with you. Coming at you with my boy Jay in the wake of an Orlando Magic victory, 112 to 111 over the San Antonio Spurs. Boy, it does feel nice to get on here after a win for a change, Jay. And Paolo buries the game winner, but Franz really carried the show. 33 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 50% from the field. He had it moving. He was slicing and dicing through the lane. The three-point shot was falling a little bit for him, and that's all we needed to hold off a mediocre Wemby performance, but a crazy performance from some of their other role players that we'll talk about in a second. But you were in the building, Jay. What was that like game winner time when Paolo buries that and then Wemby misses the shot?
Man, first of all, thanks for having me. We're gonna have some fun. Let me get into serious mode here.
Oh, you got the shades.
You already know. Let's get it. Nah, man. So yesterday, I'm like doing this and it's like light in there, so we good. It was awesome being in there yesterday. You could tell the team really, really needed that dub. It was very emotional win. Wemby, I had a feeling he wasn't gonna do great throughout their kinks with Darren Fox in the lineup and all of that stuff. So I personally thought we let them hang around too long. It was kind of nerve-wracking to be that close, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I shout out to Orlando ORL Analytics, Brandon Jones, who always puts out these kind of game statistical previews, and then he does the wrap-ups after. And he put out a statistical preview yesterday where it just didn't look good for us, right? Where our strength is trying to get into the paint, and as you would imagine, that is the strength of the San Antonio defense. They've got Victor Wembanyama, who's leading the league in almost like 5 blocks per game. I think he's leading the next closest person by like a block and a half per game. Probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year, one of many for the young Frenchman. And early on, he was swatting shots away from Franz, from Paulo. And so early, I'm thinking, oh, crap, this doesn't look good. Add to that, freaking Harrison Barnes goes 6 of 6 from beyond the arc with his first 6 threes. And it's like he's playing in an NBA Jams game over here. He's on fire. And just adding those two things, it did have me a little uneasy. But we got some good play from the role players early on to kind of right the ship. Tristan da Silva had a really nice series. He had a block, then that pass lob to Anthony Black. Then he got a steal. Then he passed to Wendell Carter Jr., got some free throws. There was that scrappy play from him, from Anthony Black, who scores 20 points, I believe, last night. 20 points on 8 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. I mean, that's what we needed. That's what we needed. You heard Weltman, I'm not sure if you heard it, Jay, but he went on Mike Bianchi's show on the radio and talked about, hey, you know, he dropped some statistic where, like, if the Magic shoot 32 or 33% from beyond the arc, or something like 52 and 13 or something crazy over the last couple seasons. Well, we shot 33% from beyond the arc, and it was just enough to overcome Harrison Barnes, who made 7 of 10 from beyond the arc, and we only made 10, but that was enough. And with the play of Franz, we made it happen. I mean, we got our butts kicked a little bit in the third with Wemby and Fox off the floor, which had me nervous. But I respect that this team stuck around, had the grit. And something I've been worried about, Jay, is them losing that confidence in each other with all these losses. But you can tell Jamal Mosley still has the ship pointed in the right direction, and these guys are still playing for each other.
Yeah, I would like to, give a big shout out to Mosley, because I feel like out of all the games I've watched this year, yesterday he really tried to keep that like tempo and like control of the game, right? Honestly, this is the first time that I have personally noticed that I'm like watching the game and I go, holy shit, Mosley's actually trying to control things. Like the minute that San Antonio was like barely about to go on a run, timeout. He used so many timeouts yesterday, and we're not used to that. So I think that played a major role. Like anytime, they started to get a little bit carried away, he right? He started, trying to get the guys get their head in the game, making sure that they did what they needed to do. Um, Paulo's confidence, man.
Hmm.
I personally, I don't know if it's whether or anything like that, but I saw people talking about how Paulo yesterday was like not calling for the ball. He was like, "Yo, give the ball to Franz. He's hot now. Do what you got to do." Now, when you were watching the game, was there any given point, just kind of like timeline, that you believe where Paulo kind of like you're like, okay, Paulo's coming back, like he kind of got
Yeah,
active a little bit,
in
and
the fourth,
what?
like or in the fourth, a little bit there. He hit a couple shots.
Look at
He
that,
he
right?
had
You
that
weren't even
nice
there.
like
You have no
yeah
idea. Yeah,
yeah
you were. So let me tell you what happened. I mean, from my point of view,
okay.
Franz started getting an MVP chance.
Oh really?
Dude, Franz started getting. This is the first time Franz has ever gotten MVP chance. I've been to damn
Interesting.
near every home game. Franz started getting MVP chance. Yo, I was joking with my girl. I was
Oh.
like, Paulo's like, yo, them chances mine, boy. Yo, he took off. Like after that happened, that's when he kind of got his head in the game. Uh,
A little bit of
Here's
the
the thing,
ego.
man.
You need a little bit of the ego in your
Yeah,
alpha
hey,
dogs.
we're human, right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
human, so that's what.
That's interesting.
Harrison Barnes, like you mentioned, was just
Yeah.
killing us, man, with those threes early on. This dude decided he wanted to play like Steph Curry,
Yeah, he's like, I'm
2K
a
with the
Splash brother, I
sliders on
guess.
100. You said what?
He said, yeah, I used to play with the Splash Brothers. I'm an honorary member tonight, apparently.
Dude, it was crazy, man. And you can tell that Paulo was like guarding him and he was doing whatever he could, but him just hitting them shots
Yeah.
killed his confidence.
Yeah. No, it was
Franz,
tough. Oh,
yeah,
continue.
so Franz, did what he did for us. He was out
Mm-hmm.
there balling.
Heck yeah.
Um, AB and Isaac, great game last night. As Jonathan Isaac was out there balling as well. He went 6 for 7, 14 points. Insane, dude.
Yeah.
And we needed him last night because our centers were kind of lacking, man, and we needed somebody to lock down that paint so that Wemby couldn't go in there. Personally, I think part of our success last night was keeping Wemby out of the paint.
Yeah.
He shot so many shots. With some of them he drained them, and a lot of them he missed. So
Yeah, Wemby goes for 18 points last night, which you got to think is a victory, on 5 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. So over half of his shots were 3-point shots last night, which you love to see. He did get to the line for 8 free throws. He knocked down 7 of them. And free throws last night, I don't know if you felt that too, but we had a lot of missed free throws, especially in the third and fourth when we really needed them. We go 12 of 20 from the line, 60% it's called the charity stripe, gentlemen. It's supposed to be free. Those are things given to you at the charity stripe, but we just could not get those shots to fall. 12 of 20. And I was a little bit worried because those are the little details that can cause you to win these close games. But again, big shot from Paulo in the end. Franz just coming through, just playing big all game, getting buckets when we needed them. We had enough. But you saw Devin Vassell
Wendell
too over there coming through for them. 25 points.
Yeah.
He was killing it. That's a name that was linked to the Magic that I had a lot of interest in a couple seasons ago as someone that we should maybe try to get. That guy is good, man. Devin Vassell, and I like what I saw out of their rookie, Stephon Castle, who's a UConn boy, baby. Huskies, let's go. So they have a lot to build around. De'Aaron Fox didn't have his greatest game, but that team is formidable and is going to be so for the next coming years with Wemby as the cornerstone.
Yeah. I was going to talk about Wendell. I'll save it for after this point because you specifically said something. We definitely missed Suggs there last night.
Yeah.
Those guys are so damn quick, man. Like when those teams are that are really fast, it makes it super hard for us to keep up with, which is kind of wild because we're young ourselves. But those guys are quick, boy. Between De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, they're just attacking.
Yeah,
We need that guy
you're
needs a
right.
nickname.
Like we have a strong defense, but a lot of our defenders are those 6'10" and over guys. So it is tough to stay with the first step, especially of these small guys. I mean, Jonathan Isaac, a lot has been made of him being a potential defensive player of the year type of guy in the past. I don't know if he's that anymore, but there were a few times when he got isolated out on the perimeter and he was getting blown by on those quick first steps. Can't necessarily blame him for that, but like you said, those guards were getting into the paint a little bit too easily on us.
Yeah, for sure. So what we got going on with our centers, man. We
Yeah.
got a center slump out here.
Goga with
Go,
2 points.
dude. Goga looks super hesitant. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Little bit
he's got the
stone hands.
body, right? I understand Wemby's big. Dude, force that foul. There was a lot of Goga turnovers last night. There was one where he like spun. You could tell. I love the effort, Goga. You could tell that he tried to keep his foot on the floor, but it didn't happen. So, they called the traveling. Goga got to get out of that slump. Wendell, what you got against playing in the Kia Center, bro? Every time you go out somewhere, you ball. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, let me give Wendell that pass. He out here getting us 10+ points, 8+ rebounds. Then you show up to the Kia Center and you want to check out after like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Piss poor attitude. Right. Again, these are things that you guys don't see on the TV and all of that, but I was there. I get to see it. There was a point in time where Wendell, he just knew he was playing shitty. They called a timeout. He knew Mosley was taking his ass out. He just he didn't look at anybody. He didn't say shit. He just walked straight to the back right before halftime.
Yeah. Don't love that.
That shit sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Get your head in the game. You're supposed to be that dude. Get out there and get them points and body these people, man.
Yeah, so I guess the only thing
end of my rant.
we could definitely use some more center play, and you're right. Goga didn't look sure offensively. I'm looking at the analytics from ORL Analytics, and he did have a good defensive game in terms of defensive efficiency, at least according to this data. But yeah, man, it's definitely a weakness area as well as our guards right now having a hard time. But Anthony Black said, "Hold on, hold my beer." He came through and he had a really good night. And the only way with Victor Wembanyama down there in the paint, the only real way that we were going to win this game was to have a decent night from beyond the arc, just decent for us, and we were going to have to be working the mid-range. And we did work the mid-range. We shot 7.5 percentage points above our average in the mid-range, and we actually did better, 8% better in the paint than we normally do, but a lot of those were those floaters. We weren't able to get right to the rim, but Franz had the floaters working.
Franz floater.
Exactly, baby. He's working that thing, and that thing is looking sweet. And if you can get that around Victor Wembanyama, there's no one in the league that can defend that thing. So as he continues to grow and lock that in, that's going to be a dangerous tool in his arsenal. Yeah, absolutely lethal.
For sure.
And he is really coming on.
So last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last night at the post conference, Mosley, as he should, gave kudos out to AB, right?
Yep.
He mentioned that AB is last night, his performance was exactly what him and his staff believe that he can do night in and night out. So that explains to us Magic fans why nothing was done at the trade deadline, right? They didn't feel the pressure. Like as we out here thinking, well, we need to get this guy or we need to do this. AB just needs to get out there, be aggressive, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's the consistency. We've seen this in flashes. His ability to get to the rim,
the problem.
To get into the paint. But he's a young guy, 21. That consistency doesn't come with time. And my only beef with, the idea of internal growth from Jeff Weltman is it's taking away from the developmental time of Paulo and Franz. That's my biggest gripe. I agree that we've got a lot of talent on this team, and maybe there are guys, maybe Anthony Black is the guy who blossoms into the point guard of the future, and you just have this massive lineup out there, which would be pretty awesome. But right now, he's not consistent enough. And right now, teams are just sagging off us from the three-point line. So it would have been nice to get someone in here that could shoot and facilitate a little bit, that would allow Paulo and Franz to cook a little bit, to get Paulo the ball on the block instead of having to dribble it all the way up and take it into the offensive set, which is something at the end of last season he said that he didn't want. I get where Weltman was coming with the, hey, we've only had 6 games healthy. Okay, but we've really had like 2.5, 3 years with this team, so we kind of know who's who and what's what. I haven't gotten your take on it, Jay. I mean, no moves at the trade deadline from Weltman. How were you feeling about it? How are you feeling now?
So, I still feel like shit. Okay?
Even after a victory?
Even after the victory. This, man. Why is all I'm going to say. Again, we don't want all that. With teams was being aggressive and just we weren't really liking what they wanted or requesting or what they were trying to give us. Bro, what makes you think it's going to be any different in the offseason? Right? That being said, we understand, right? We understand the situation. We understand that we cannot go out there, and I'm going to keep saying we understand, because guess what? We understand. We can't go out there and get Trey. We can't go out there. Obviously, Darren Fox didn't want to come here. He wanted to go play with Wemby.
Maybe,
so
yeah.
I can't fault him for it. But listen, man, why didn't we do any type of like upgrades? Why we got KCP, right? Listen, I'm sorry, Kenny, but listen, I'm like, we gave him too many chances already. It is what it is.
Already you're done.
Man.
You're done with Kenny
I'm
already?
done, dude. Listen, how does he go out there 30 minutes a night?
Yeah.
This dude is averaging, I have not seen him play. When he does play, he's only missed a game or two for personal reasons. When he does play, he plays more than 25 minutes. He's had like 1 or 2 games that he goes above 10 points. Yeah. You're supposed to be the vet. You're supposed to be that dude. We brought you in here.
Yeah,
what?
I disagree, Jay. I think that is the wrong expectation though, because he averaged 9 points last year too. Like this is what he does. He is a piece. He's not a guy that's going to drive offense or do anything crazy. He's a guy that hangs out 3-point line, will shoot, will give you a little bit, and he plays awesome.
So when you
defense.
got them open shots, you can shoot. When you got them open shots, I expect you to drop them.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You paid.
It
goes hand in hand with like how much we paid him.
Yeah,
versus,
I feel you.
Because he's a 2-time champion. He was just a piece. He was not an elemental, like, people are probably going to hate me for this or whatever, but he wasn't like the dude that this is the reason why they won. So why are we treating him that way?
I'm not. I was never treating him that way. There's
a lot of people.
When he came over, I was like, hey, Magic fans, this guy is a 9-point per game scorer. Like, let's temper our expectations. He scored 10 points a game last year.
There's a lot of people that. Yeah, but there's for sure a lot of people that are like, oh, this dude was like, they treating him like he was like the reason why the Lakers won or the reason why Denver won. No, bro. The Lakers won because they had LeBron or whatever. The Nuggets won because they had Jokic and they was balling. Yeah. This is not to discredit him by any means, but when you coming out to the floor, giving 30 minutes a game and scoring 3 points, bro. The Magic want to talk about this like development and all this shit. Get Jet out there, man. Let Jet go out there for 30 minutes and do what he got to do.
Yeah, but
these young kids is out there rotting on the bench.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's what frustrates me.
I got you, and I don't want to make Kenny the scapegoat because I don't think he's done anything wrong. I would say that's
why I said
with
this
the
is
construction.
nothing completely against him, but it's like
if you're gonna let Jet rot on the bench, like you said, and I think that's a great point. why didn't he get moved? Like let him go somewhere he can play and try to get some type of other asset or pick up another pick or pick up our favorite thing, cash considerations at least, and a pick that we can use for a Trae Young trade this summer or something like that.
Just something.
Yeah, the point you bring up about the desperation and teams kind of trying to press us is because that teams know we do have our 2 stars that we're really locked into, and we got Jalen Suggs on the extension, but teams are aware we really need that point guard. We really still need a dominant center or someone that's like doing it every night at the center position. And so because of that, they're going to pressure us. That we don't have a lot of leverage because we're desperate for those things. And your point is great.
And that's not going to change.
Right. Aren't we just going to be more desperate in the summer? Don't you think the Atlanta Hawks are going to be like, oh, I know you want this Trae Young to pair with Paulo and Franz, like, Give me everything. Give me everything. And maybe we do at that point. Maybe that's the chips in move that you make. But we shall see. It would be interesting to see how Trae Young's contract would even work on this team. And are the DeVosses really ready to go deep into the luxury tax, deep into the first apron? Because I think that's what would happen with the Trae Young contract. I'm not sure, man. That's a ways away. I'm still focused on this season. You know what I'm really focused on, Jay? End of March, being down with you for the 3rd annual family reunion.
Let's go.
It's March 29th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be against the now De'Aaron Foxless Kings, but they're nothing to sleep on. They still got some players. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully a Magic victory. We have not had a Magic loss in any of the Court Cousins nights prior, so we're not starting this year.
Bring that luck. Let's get it.
Make sure you get the ticket link, though, because even though the game's at end of March, the link expires at the end of February. So we got to get everyone to get their tickets by end of February. We're going to meet up before. We'll have tons of giveaways. The tickets are discounted. We'll all be sitting together. It should be a good time. We'll figure out something else that we're going to do. We can't cut down the nets this year, though, unfortunately, Jay, because it's some type of night where there's going to be a performance on the court afterwards. So I'm trying to figure out if we could do something else in lieu of cutting down the net. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure. But regardless, it's going to be a good time. Please make sure you get your tickets. But yeah, Jay, what do we got? We got a game Sunday. These are some winnable games coming up right now that the Magic desperately need because we are in a precarious spot here in 8th place in the Eastern Conference. It's one of those where we could be down in 11th real quick, or we could kind of be up to 6th real fast. Our next games we got against Atlanta and then Charlotte.
The Hawks on Monday.
Yep. And then we got a little bit of a break before playing the Hawks again on the 20th after the All-Star break. Then we've got the Grizzlies, the Wizards, the Cavs, the Warriors, 2 against the Raptors, and then the Bulls. So that is, the next 8 games. Definitely you circle a bunch of those as very winnable, but there's some tough games in there too. The Magic are going to have to buck up and play tough and hopefully at least shoot 33 to 35% from beyond the arc. If we do that, we win the game. But if not, it's a tough slog.
If not, I'm going to be crying.
Well, don't cry too much.
Speaking of crying,
yeah,
a little tear was shed yesterday. I saw Mo. Me and my girl were at the game, and we're like, is that Mo?
Oh, yes.
He was at the game, man. It's a good feeling. He's out of the house. Mm-hmm. He can get in there and chew Franz's ass out if Franz ain't doing good. Get on them boys.
Yeah, bring some of the fire that we're missing from him. It is nice to see him back. I've been wanting to dig into the statistics to see how bad we've been since he's gone out. I have a feeling it's going to be very bad. And yeah, you can't attribute it to just one guy because we've had a lot of injuries. But I think maybe I need, and maybe a lot of you in the Magic community need to issue Moritz Wagner an apology. And maybe we were kind of underappreciating that dog as he came off the bench to bring us a little bit of that energy, especially on those nights, when we were not feeling so hot and the energy was down. He's been it was a key piece coming off the bench, 6th man of the year contention talk. It's been big to miss him. I think that can't be overstated. And Jalen Suggs, where's he been, man? It's listed as quad contusion. I thought contusion was a fancy word for bruise. I don't know about you, but I haven't had any bruises that keep me out of work for like 3 weeks. Like, what's going on with this dude? Is he okay?
I don't know. He was out there.
Ugh,
He's
I'm
there, so I
worried,
don't know
but
what's going on. But
we
all
need
I
him.
know is the dogs have not been barking in Orlando.
Nah.
Right.
Very quiet team. Very pensive and passive team. But hopefully that game winner from Paulo gives him a little bit of confidence and swagger last night. Franz going right at Wemby, AB having a big game, J.I. having a big game, Tristan Da Silva doing good things. Hopefully we can build off this and bring it to the Atlanta Hawks on Monday. Jay.
Yeah, which brings me to the last point,
Okay,
right? This is
word.
a major point.
Okay, major
We
point.
have to learn to win without the fans.
Mm.
Mosley keeps talking about how great the fans are. Last night in his press, he was saying that, when you're on the road, it's tough, whatever. Guess what? It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
We need to learn you guys need to learn how to do it without the fans. Straight up.
Yeah, that's big. We didn't win a single road game in the playoffs last year, right? You got to win a game on the road to be a contender, and that's the next step for the Orlando Magic is getting into the playoffs again this year and trying to win a damn road game. Jay, thanks as always for coming on with me, homie. I will see you again soon. Peace out, Second Cousins. Make sure you get your tickets to Court Cousins Night.
Let's get it.